Welcome back into Quick Kick Around the Pitch. It is time for a Euro 2024 prediction show. Now, let's get something out of the way first. Yes, I'm wearing a jacket indoors. Why is that? Because, I mean, it's absolutely an outstanding jacket. I mean, how could I not wear this for at least one show during the Euros? And given we have no idea how long England are going to be there, I said, let's just wear it for the prediction show, and we'll see where we go from there. So, this is an absolutely outstanding jacket, the official anthem jacket for England at this Euro. When I saw it come out, actually, when I saw the leaks back in November, I'm like, I'm going to need that when it comes out. Well, it came out and the leaks were pretty accurate. It is absolutely outstanding. Now, yes, it was a bit pricey, and I don't agree with the price, but I said, that might sell out, so I am just going to get it now and risk money being lost down the road, whatever. But this is not what we're here for. We're not here for jersey talk. We are here for Euro 2024. It kicks off tomorrow. You're probably going to be watching this tomorrow, so it technically kicks off today, whenever you're watching this. You may watch this a week from now. It kicked off a week ago, guys. Where have you been? We're going to go through all the groups once again. If you want to go back, look at my previews for all the groups. Go check out the 3 videos. I did groups A, B grouped together, C, D grouped together, and E and F grouped together, obviously. Those have been the past 3 videos on this channel. If you want just a overview of this Euro, what it is, where we're playing at, that will be the video before all those previews. So just go check them all out. Why not? And, while you're at it, click like, click subscribe. Well, let's get it rolling here. But you came here for predictions, and I don't want to disappoint you. So here we go. I have the Telegraph's Euro 2024 predictor pulled up. The Telegraph always does a great predictor because it's very easy to manage and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's just get straight into it. Group A, you have Germany, you have Scotland, you have Hungary, and you have Switzerland. I mentioned in the group preview, I think all 3 of the 4 teams do end up advancing because you're going to get, 6 third-place teams advancing, or 4 third-place teams, I should say, advancing on to the knockout stages. I think you'll end up having 3 or 4 get through, but so going off of Group A, finishing first, I do have the host Germany. I don't see them faltering against, Scotland or Switzerland. I could see them drawing against Hungary. I think this Hungary team is still quite good. I just don't see them beating the German team, obviously. And kind of given that, little hype up, I have Hungary finishing second in the group. I know a lot of people are hyping them up as dark horse. They're technically my dark horse. I do kind of hate it because everybody else is on it, which means it's only going to lead to inevitable just destruction and them finishing 4th in this group. But as of now, I think Hungary are good enough to go through without worrying about 3rd place rankings and all that. I like Hungary in this group. 3rd place, it was a tough decision between the 2 because I think both are somewhat even and it might come down to the match where they face off against each other. I'm still going to pick Scotland. I think they end up finishing in 3rd place in this group. Switzerland, I mean, I think they got as good a shot as any. I think their main fault is going to be that their golden generation that has been of days past is somewhat gone. They're in a period where it just seems like they're in limbo. You got some players from that golden generation still there. They're a bit older, but they're leading this team. And then you've got young players that I don't think have enough experience. I think this is going to be a difficult Euro for Switzerland. But, I mean, I could be completely wrong and they finish, second in this group. Who knows? Group B, the group of death. I have Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania in this group. I don't know why I said I have them. It is UEFA that has them in this group. But this is a very tricky group because those 3 are going to just absolutely beat up on each other. So first of all, I'm going to do this. Click the country you think will be fourth. I think it's going to be Albania. I don't think that they have the capability to obviously beat any of those three teams. So I'll just start there. I think that's the easy one to get out of the way. I'm going to put Spain finishing first. The Spain team, they're quite good. I like their chances in this tournament. I'm just not 100% sure of them in the group stage just because, I mean, this is going to be an absolute mess of a group given the power that you have here. And then I'm going to put Italy second, which puts Croatia third. I'm putting Croatia third and Italy second because I think Croatia, yes, they're still very good, but I do worry that, the age is finally going to catch up to them in this tournament. I mean, Luka Modric is up there in age. Ivan Perisic is up there in age. You got a lot of these players that are getting up there in age. Their abilities just aren't what they were 5-6 years ago when, Croatia was in a World Cup final against France or when they were in the Nations League final a few years ago. I think it finally catches up to them. I hope not, because the Croatia team, always fun to watch, but I'm expecting them to finish third in this group. In Italy, a lot of, the defending champions coming into this tournament, yes, they lost a lot of their players due to retirement and just not being fit for this squad. You also have a new manager. It's going to be a new playing style. I mean, obviously, they've been playing with him for about a year now, but you don't have much time in internationals to, fully get ingrained in the new managerial style. But Italy still is top talent. I expect them to finish second in this group, and I think they only finish second because they lose to Spain when they face off. We move on to Group C. Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and England. Of course, England. The anthem jacket I'm wearing right now, they are the betting favorites to win the tournament. I don't love them being the betting favorites because I mentioned in the group or preview that I don't think they should be the favorites. Their defense back line really worries me because they have zero depth whatsoever and they are still missing key pieces on that defensive back line. That's very worrying to me. It's not a big enough worry for them to not finish first in this group. I think they finished first, and I think Denmark finished second. I think that's a pretty solid guess that those two will finish like that. I think the real questions come here in 3 and 4. I personally have Slovenia finishing third and Serbia finishing fourth. I think Slovenia playing at their first, major tournament since the 2010 World Cup, first Euro since 2000. Yes, they don't have experience on this stage, but I think that somewhat propels them in a way here. And I think they use that motivation kind of to one-up Serbia. And that probably comes down to the game where they face off against each other as your tiebreaker most likely. I think Serbia they have a lot of undeveloped talent there. I mean, you can say the same with Slovenia, but I don't know if Serbia is going to be at that level this year. I think Serbia really wants to take a step forward and try to finish second in this group. I actually think they kind of take a step back this year and finish fourth. We move on to Group D, where you have the Netherlands, Austria, France, and Poland. Topping this group, I think, is going to be the team led by the best player in the world, and that is Kylian Mbappe, and that is France. I don't see France losing any of these games. They may draw against the Netherlands. I don't see them losing to any of these teams. I just don't think that they can here. Second place, I have the Netherlands. Even though I don't trust Ronald Koeman as a manager, I'm still expecting them to finish second in this group. Third, I have Austria, which puts Poland fourth. I think Poland gets grouped no matter what. So if they finish third, I don't think they're making the through the rankings for third place teams. Poland, it's going to be a struggle for them. Robert Lewandowski being injured, at least for the first game, that leads me to believe he's going to be injured most of the tournament. That's going to be a real detriment for Poland. I think Austria is just that little step better. And Poland, they outside of Lewandowski and probably Wojciech Szczesny, they don't have like any real top talent, which worries me in this tournament. I think they'll get outpaced and outclassed in a few games here. And that will just be the end of the day for Poland. I think Austria kind of just get third because they were there and somebody has to finish third in the group. I think there is a real, I think it's France. There's a nice drop, and then it's the Netherlands. And then there's another nice drop, and then it's probably Austria and Poland, probably pretty close together there. I think Austria just finished just above Poland. We move on to Group E, where you have Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, and Ukraine. I think Belgium tops this group just because I don't really see any of the other ones topping the group. Even though, you're missing out on Thibaut Courtois, you still have some of those great players from, the teams of yesteryear, basically. But I still expect Belgium to get through to the knockout stages, finishing top of the group. Second place is where I really struggle here because truly I don't think there's a big differential between any of these teams. So I'm just going with the team that I think has the most experience that will help them throughout this tournament, and that's going to be Ukraine. I think they end up advancing to the round of 16 because, well, one, their comebacks in the playoff qualifiers to get to the Euro, they always had to come back. They get here through those. That builds up some, mental stability. But then you go back to Euro 2020. They made it to the quarterfinals where they lost to England. I think they're just more experienced here. They've added some key pieces. I think Lunin, their goalkeeper, is going to be huge for them in this tournament. And then, of course, you got Murduk on your right wing. I think both of them are going to have good tournaments for Ukraine. I think they end up finishing second. In third place, I have Slovakia, which puts Romania in fourth place. I don't really think there's much difference between those teams. I just think Slovakia kind of has the better team right now. Romania, I don't think they have enough experience on this stage. That's about it. In Group F, we have Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and Czechia. I think it's pretty easy, kind of similar to Group E. I think Portugal topped this group. I don't really think there's any debate here. For second place, it's difficult because I have it between Turkey and Czechia. I'm personally going to go with Czechia. I think Turkey, I don't know, it always seems on the international stage they kind of just, fall apart a little bit, and it's just an absolute disaster. I think they finished third. In Georgia, I think they finished fourth, but they somehow find at least a point in there from a draw, which, I know I said in the preview, I think a win for them would be a successful tournament. I also think just getting a draw will be an accomplishment. I won't say it's their goal, but it's going to be an accomplishment if they can at least get a point. So that takes us to the third place rankings. So here, right now, I'm going to go, I'll put Croatia at the top as your first qualifier for the third place playoff rankings. Second, I'm going to go Austria. Third, I'll go Scotland. And then fourth, I guess I'll go Turkey, which puts Slovakia fifth and Slovenia sixth. So that takes us to the round of 16, where in the first match of the round of 16, we have Germany-Denmark. I think this would be a good game on both sides. I personally give the advantage here to Germany. I think playing at home is going to be a big advantage for them in this tournament. And I think that kind of leads them here against Denmark. In the next match, match 38, it's Hungary-Italy. This is a difficult one because, kind of like I said, I'm expecting, Hungary to be a dark horse in this tournament. I think they're a really good team. Italy, I don't really know much of what I'm expecting from them because this is a younger team, especially compared to where they were last year, or last Euro, I should say, when they won it. That was a team really led by squad depth and, experienced older players. Given that, I think Hungary's just going to play with nothing to lose, and Hungary finds a way to win this game. I don't know if it's penalties, I don't know if it's extra time, or if they just do it in regular time. I think Hungary advance. Spain, Austria, I particularly don't think that one's close. I like Spain in that one. England, Turkey. Again, I think Turkey kind of just falls apart on international stages. They only really get here because of that third place ranking, and they somehow found their way in. I know, I'm the one that did the predictor, and I'm just saying they somehow found their way in. I don't get it. I think they advance. England does. Portugal, Croatia. Would be an absolutely outstanding matchup if we get it. And I would just be on the edge of my seat for this one. I like Portugal in this one, though. Croatia, they're good. I still think that the age is going to catch up to them in this tournament. At some point or another, I think it catches up to them. Match 42, it would potentially be the Netherlands and Ukraine, and that's at least how I have it. I personally, out of these two, I like the Netherlands to advance. I just think they're the better team there. Belgium, Scotland. This would be, if Scotland gets through, their first knockout stage appearance in the Euros. They have been grouped the 3 times that they have been there, which includes the past 2 times. The past 2 years, or Euros, I should say. But I like Belgium to advance here. I just think it's going to be a good tournament for them. And then France, Czech Republic, or Czechia. It's Czechia. I like France in this one. So we move on to the quarterfinals, and we just have heavy hitter after heavy hitter in this quarterfinal. Match 45. Germany, Spain, that would just be absolutely incredible. A just perfect watch for just the casual football fan if we get that. That is peak football right there. If you get the 3-time Euro champion Germany going up against the 3-time Euro champion Spain. And it's tough to pick this one. I know I've been, praising Germany. I think they're going to be good this tournament, especially given on home soil. But I do think, I know both of these managers are kind of first-time managers at the international level. I think Nagelsmann gets a little bit exposed in this one, and I expect Spain to advance to the semifinals. Portugal, Netherlands. I've said since the preview that I think Portugal is one of the most deep, front-to-back teams in this tournament. It seems like they have starter after starter after starter, even on their benches and their reserves. I like Portugal to advance here. Again, I'm worried about Ronald Koeman in this scenario. I don't like his managerial tactics at times. And I think that, you can go back. I think they'll be fine against Ukraine. But against Portugal, I think it's a completely different story. I like Portugal to advance here. In match 47, it would be Belgium against France with a spot at the semifinals on the line. I can't go against the French here. Best player in the world, Didier Deschamps, as the manager. I expect him to advance there. And then match 48, it would be England and Hungary. Of course, these two met in Nations League group stages just a few years ago, I think. It may even be less than a few years. It may be a couple. Hungary absolutely humiliated England. Made Southgate look absolutely awful. I think I'm going to go with England here. They have the better team they have to find a way to get at least to the semifinal in this tournament. So we move on to the semifinals, and what a semifinals these would be. Spain, Portugal on one side, France, England on the other. Boy, oh boy, would we be in for an absolute treat if we get this. Spain, Portugal, that is just one of the biggest rivalries in international football. I think both teams are going to do very well in this tournament. I think both of them do end up at this point in the semifinals, most likely facing off against each other. I once again, I give the advantage to Portugal here. I think they have the more depth in this team, and as you go on in tournament play, injuries are going to happen. Fatigue is going to happen. Now, of course, you're not going to be completely changing a starting 11 between games because you do have a little bit of a break. But when those injuries happen, Portugal has the better depth here. I personally think Portugal has the better depth. I think that helps them find a way to the final. And who will they be facing? The winner of this France-England game, a rematch of the quarterfinals of the 2022 World Cup, where France won, it was 3-2, I believe was the final score. I know Harry Kane missed a penalty in the 80th minute that would have tied the game. Yes, it does bring back some sore memories, but it is tough to pick between these two. Because France really does have a very good team this tournament. I'd rival them with Portugal with squad depth. I've said since the beginning, I think England's biggest hurdle in this tournament is going to be their back line. It is going to be a struggle with that back line. They don't have the depth there. They don't have some of the players they probably want there. And I think the road ends for the Three Lions in the semifinals. I think we end up with a Portugal-France final, which would be amazing if we get it. You have, Ronaldo potentially going out of the international game on top. You, of course, have Mbappe, who already has a World Cup but is still looking for a Euro for his resume. And in this final, it would be tough because both teams are really, really good. Like I said, I think both of them, their squad depth is going to carry them through this tournament. In this case, it's difficult. I think we end up in extra time, probably penalties if we get there. But I do have France winning Euro 2024. They're the second favorites in this tournament. The predicting methods has them as 25% of people have predicted them to win this tournament. I don't really feel like I'm going out on a limb saying France is going to win this tournament. I just think that the tournament's built for them to win this. I don't think you're going to run into any major trouble. I personally don't get why France isn't the betting favorite. I don't get why England is. I think England struggles, like I have said multiple times. The back line, if you don't have a good back line, you do not win this tournament. We've seen it with Greece in 2004. We saw it with Spain in 2008 and 2012. We saw it with this Portugal team not this Portugal team, but a Portugal team in 2016. We saw it with the Italy team in 2020. You have to have a strong back line to win this tournament. And I think France has that. I think Portugal has that. If I had to throw a few more names in there, I honestly think Spain has that. I think Italy has that. I know I have Italy going out against Hungary, but I still think Italy has a good back line. Germany, I'd throw them up there. I'd throw them all in front of England most likely. I'm very worried about the England back line, and I think it's going to end up costing them in this tournament. So France, I do have as my winner. That team is just so stacked, front to back, back to front, whatever you want to say. This France team is just otherworldly. So given that, I do have France winning the Euro. I think this is going to be an outstanding tournament. It all starts tomorrow. So if you just stumble across this video, make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because the content truly really gets underway starting tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching. It has been a pleasure to do this preview show. Hopefully you come back for all the Euro content that's coming towards you. We will be doing another prediction show next week for Copa America. So make sure you tune in for that. We will see you again soon for another episode of Quick Kick Around the Pitch.